Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, Jay-Z Courtside, coming at y'all today on Monday, July 27th. Can y'all believe July has flown by this quickly? Honestly, I felt like the NBA season ended and now we're blinking and a month just went by. Guys, the offseason, we got 3 months left until the NBA regular season begins, even less than 3 months. And I'm just happy to share this offseason with you. As you all know, we have been keeping busy. I would like to apologize first and foremost that I was not here on Friday. I've been having some migraines that have been really bothering me, but we're back. We're locked and loaded. As you guys know, our schedule during the summer is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then when the season gets back, we are back daily, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot has happened since I last saw you Wednesday. All right. Obviously, we're going to talk about LeBron and where he went. We're going to talk about another guy that decided to get bought out and join Philly. We're going to be talking about a former top 5 pick by the New York Knicks who was drafted 12 years ago. And now he's back in the NBA. We're going to talk about a bald guy that got signed for a really good deal. We're going to talk about another guy that got offered by the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then the other team said, no, you don't get him, and then brought him back anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got a fun show for y'all today. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok, YouTube, be sure to drop a like, follow, subscribe, all that jazz. And Twitch chat, you guys already know. All y'all got to do is sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee or an energy drink, and enjoy the show. You guys already know what we're starting with. LeBron James signed with the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year deal, $8 million, with a second year being a player option. You know, the first thing I did when I saw this deal, I had to see, where does LeBron James right now rank as far as the highest paid contract in the NBA? Okay. I went ahead and looked. Well, it changed because Spencer Jones just got offered by the Denver Nuggets. So he dropped a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, entering his 24th NBA season, LeBron James, who is still an all-NBA talent. He wasn't all-NBA last year because he didn't play 65 games because of sciatica. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is now the 293rd highest paid player in the entire NBA. Mind you, he is still an all-NBA level player, and he is the 293rd highest paid. Apparently he's 289th. Thank you. Okay, I was close. I guess it changed a little bit. 289th. I checked on did this happen last Friday? I think it was last Friday. So a couple contracts were signed. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe some contracts didn't get picked up. Who knows? But 289th. Okay, never mind. My Twitch chat said, no, I'm wrong. All right, guys, listen. He's like 290th something highest paid NBA player right now. And that's saying something, considering LeBron James is still arguably a top 15 player in the NBA. Yeah, so I was right. It was 293rd. Anyway, I know what you guys are thinking. Jay-Z, what do you think of this team? Now, I'm not going to sit here and applaud LeBron for taking a pay cut. I'm not going to do that. He's a billionaire. Money is nothing to him, right? None of us will ever sniff $1 billion in our lifetimes. So I'm not going to sit here and applaud LeBron James for taking a team-friendly deal. One thing I am going to applaud LeBron James for is finally acknowledging, you know what? I want to win another championship. People are getting mad at him, saying, this is y'all's GOAT. He's ring chasing. Y'all, he's turning 42 years old in 5 months. He's turning 42. And as soon as LeBron joined this team, all of a sudden, everybody's picking them to win the championship. So let's get a couple of these things straight. He's a 42-year-old that's ring chasing and yet is still going to be one of the best players in the Eastern Conference. Listen, there's a lot of winners here. There's a lot of winners here. First of all, let's go through some of the winners. LeBron James is my number one winner out of here. He joined the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I don't think they were his best chance at winning. I think there were other teams he could have joined that would have gave him a higher chance of winning. Look at the San Antonio Spurs. They could have used him. They were never in the serious talks. Look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. He could have joined them. They needed a wing. He didn't. There are a lot of higher chance teams. He could have joined the Knicks. And you know what's so fascinating about this? Knicks fans, I'm not sure if you guys have read too much about this, but Rich Paul on his podcast came out and said before that this was announced that LeBron was going to join the New York Knicks this summer. But then they won a championship. And he said, okay, I guess they ended that drought. I'm not going to join there anymore. LeBron had it all set last summer. He told himself, he told Rich Paul, he told his family, I am going to New York because I didn't join them in 2011. I am going to New York. They won the championship. And then him and Rich Paul hit the whiteboard again and then changed their mind. It's not fake news, TikTok. Rich Paul said it in his podcast. Why would I make this up? So LeBron was hell-bent on ending a streak. He was hell-bent on ending a drought. He wanted to join a team that hasn't won. So he wanted to join the Knicks. They broke their 53-year drought. And then he looked around the NBA and he was looking at Minnesota. Minnesota was a great fit. Great fit. With Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Rudy Gobert, you got your defense, you got your playmaking, you got your shooting, and then you throw LeBron in the mix as well. That would have been a fun team. But I think Philadelphia was a maybe top 3 at worst. As far as we can contend right away and win a championship. Now, another major winner is obviously Nick Nurse, Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, Joel Embiid, Dean Wade. I think the only loser is LeBaron Filan. Now he's going to be playing with LeBron. So LeBaron and LeBron, that's going to be a little bit confusing. And another major winner is me. I'm so happy about this. Ladies and gentlemen, I live in North Carolina. I'm from Detroit. I miss watching LeBron James. I miss watching the guy. And ever since he went to Los Angeles, only time I watch him is when the games are on national television and I don't have to stay up until 10:45 to watch a game. I'm going to be honest. I don't enjoy staying up until 2 a.m. to watch a random Wednesday night game for the Lakers. I don't. So now I get to watch Philly. I get to watch LeBron again because I watched a lot of Philadelphia last year, and that's why I wasn't high on them. The Philadelphia 76ers have not won in 43 years. They have not won since Moses Malone, Dr. J, that squad. They haven't won since then. So as far as like franchises that I'd be happy to see him go to, I'm pretty happy he went to Philadelphia. Can I be honest with everybody? Cleveland, that would have made too much sense. It would have been boring. Miami, I don't want to watch him struggle. And, we'll talk about that later. Philly, I like this. And let me explain. Nick Nurse is a guy, and mind you, this team is extremely top heavy. And Nick Nurse is sort of like Tom Thibodeau, where he runs his guys into the ground. Now, when you look up and down this roster, Jaylen Brown, really healthy. He can play 40 minutes a night. Tyrese Maxey, very healthy. He's going to have to be less ball dominant than last year, which is great. That is great because Tyrese Maxey got ran into the ground last year. I was talking about it all year long. Tyrese Maxey was getting destroyed physically. So now you got Jaylen Brown, who's an 82-game player. You got Tyrese Maxey, who's an 82-game player. You got VJ Edgecombe, who's also going to get ran into the ground, which is a good thing. And VJ Edgecombe, because he's young. Dean Wade, he's a great. Like, Dean Wade is a serviceable guy. He's great offensively. He's great defensively. He's okay offensively. To have him off the bench, that's perfect. And then, of course, they picked up Anthony Simons, whose literal job is going to be, hey, go make 2 of your first 3 shots, and you'll be playing 25 minutes tonight. That's all they want out of Anthony Simons. Just go get buckets. That's it. And that's a great recipe to have on a team like that. They also went out and got KCP, who we'll talk about a little bit more later. I did not forget about KCP. I'm going down the roster right now. You guys are so quick to just remind me. Now, I know people are going to be questioning who's their backup big. Well, they got Ariel Huckporty. They got Dominic Barlow. They got Adem Bona. And you could look at those guys and be like, damn, their front court is low-key lacking. I guarantee it, you will see LeBron James play the backup five sometimes. Like Joel Embiid will come to the bench, and I guarantee, or if Embiid's out, if Embiid is out and they're starting Bona or they're starting Huck Porty or they're starting Barlow, LeBron will just slide into the five. It's happened all throughout his last like 13 years of his career. LeBron will be playing a little bit of 5 minutes, and then Dean Wade at the 4 or Dominic Barlow at the 5. LeBron will be playing a little bit of 5, and that's fine. If you're up against teams that are like not the Knicks with Cat, not the Pistons with possibly Duren, if you're up against a team like that's running Julius Randle at the 5, or you're up against I'm trying to think of like other, I guess like Nas Reed at the 5 or like Kalkbrenner or someone like that. Guys that really aren't going to like impose their will offensively, you can run LeBron at the 5. Now, the depth chart is what is very interesting to talk about with this team, because I can't help but look at the starting lineup and think, Jesus, who's going to stop this? I'll be honest with everybody. Do I believe this team is going to be a favorite to win the championship? No. I still have the Knicks above them in the East. I believe in continuity. I believe continuity is still a major, major, major quality of a basketball team. I do not, of course, the season doesn't start for 3 more months, but I do not have this team over the New York Knicks. I don't. On top of this, if I were Nick Nurse, if I were the Philadelphia 76ers front office, I would sit Joel Embiid until a week before the playoffs, and I would just hope you can give us 2 months of being healthy. Somebody in the TikTok is saying it's got to be rage bait. I'll be honest, everybody. Continuity is a real thing. As far as rankings in the East go, I got the Knicks top. Knicks are in their own realm in the East. Knicks are number 1. Continuity is a real thing, folks. I got the Knicks at 1. And then I got tier 1. I got the Knicks. They're by themselves. In tier 2, I got teams, the Philadelphia 76ers. I still have the Boston Celtics in tier 2. I can't imagine they get much worse. I still have them winning 50 games because they just did that without Tatum and just Jaylen Brown. Now they have Tatum and they have Paul George. So I believe the Celtics are also in tier 2. I believe the Detroit Pistons are tier 2, as long as they figure out what they're doing with Jalen Duren. And hold on, let me just look real quick. I just got to make sure NBA. I just got to make sure who I'm looking at. So, okay, tier 1, I got the Knicks. Tier 2, I got the Philadelphia 76ers, the Detroit Pistons, the Boston Celtics, the Toronto Raptors, and I'll say the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's all my tier 2. Tier 3, I got teams like the Heat, the Hawks, the Magic, the Pacers. Yeah, and then tier 4, obviously the remaining teams. That's my genuine belief, because my issue with the Philadelphia 76ers is you really just have KCP, who barely played basketball last year. You guys need to understand that. KCP barely played basketball last year. Dean Wade, who can only make wide open threes. Cavs fans, if you're out there, you know what I'm talking about. Dean Wade can only make wide open threes. He can't put the ball on the floor. He can't go for layups. He can't go for that. He's just good, wide open in the corner, right? That's it. Anthony Simons can get you a bucket. Horrible defender. And then you got a rookie in LeBaron Philon, Dominic Barlow, Ariel Huckporty, Justin Edwards. That's your bench. That's your bench. Do I think that this team will be a really good regular season team? Absolutely. This all centers. Okay, I have a question. Do any of you genuinely believe that without Joel Embiid, this team can win? Do you genuinely believe that without Joel Embiid, this team can win? Because I'm looking at teams like the Knicks who have Cat. I'm looking at the teams with the Pistons that have Duren, hopefully improves in the playoffs. I'm looking at teams like Miami with Giannis and Bam. Very tough matchup for them. They have nobody in the front court. Embiid just needs to be there. Embiid just needs to be there. And I've already hyped up Dean Wade. I said he's great defensively and serviceable offensively, but he can only hit wide open shots. I said, Cavs fans, speak for me. So, all in all, I do want to say one important detail about the Philadelphia 76ers. One important detail. Last summer, I came in and I said, this team is going nowhere. They have no value guys. They're stuck with Embiid and they're stuck with Paul George. They are going nowhere. They are going nowhere. They have no future. They have no present. That's what I said last offseason. And then throughout the entire season, I was also saying they're going nowhere. Tyrese Maxey's great. VJ Edgecombe's great. But as long as Embiid and Paul George are on this team, they are going nowhere. And then they traded for Jaylen Brown and got off Paul George. And now all of a sudden, I'm thinking, wow. And now you get LeBron James. So overall, if I were a 76ers fan and I were to give you guys just a phrase that y'all can hold on to for the next 3 months, you guys got LeBron James. He will be 42 this season, but he's still LeBron James. You guys got Jaylen Brown. You guys are developing VJ Edgecombe, which, could be a problem this season. You guys have Tyrese Maxey. And you guys might have Joel Embiid. The only thing that matters to me is Joel Embiid for 2 months of basketball. That's it. Can Joel Embiid give us 2 months of basketball? He gave us 3 games of basketball last year. Jay-Z, what do you mean 3 games? Well, he played 30 games in the regular season, which didn't matter at all. Every time he came into the lineup, they became too Embiid heliocentric. If you guys watch the Philadelphia 76ers as much as I did, every time Joel Embiid didn't play, Tyrese Maxey would run the show. But then every time Joel Embiid played, all of a sudden, we're dishing it out to Embiid, and he's dribbling the ball for 15 out of the 24 seconds. He slowed down the offense. He embraced the defense. The defense was still really good. And all of the offense would be running through Embiid and instead of Maxey. So every time he'd enter, something would change. Now, I don't think that's going to happen this much, but it all lays on Embiid. Embiid, take that step back. Take that step back. You got multiple ball handlers now. You got LeBron, who's a ball handler. You got Jaylen Brown, who's a ball handler. You got Tyrese Maxey, who's a great ball handler. And you got VJ Edgecombe, who can still put the ball on the floor and create his own shot. You got 4 guys that can create their own shot outside of your supposed franchise player in Embiid. Embiid, you just need 2 months of basketball. That's it. Yo, Trill and McFarlane, thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I hope to see more of you guys come through to the Twitch. As long as Embiid can just acknowledge that I am no longer the number one, I'm not worried about this team until playoff time. And the only time I'm going to be able to just look at this team objectively is come playoff time. Because I don't believe that they're better than the Detroit Pistons. I don't believe that this team is better than, I guess who else do I have to talk about? I think they are better than the Boston. Yeah, they are better than the Boston Celtics. I don't think I have them above the Detroit Pistons yet. I don't. I really don't, because Jaylen Brown, he's been proven to struggle against Cade Cunningham. VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey always gets locked up by Asar Thompson. The only guy that really matters now is John Collins and Jalen Duren and seeing what they go there. I do believe Philadelphia has very high odds at winning the championship. I do. I think they really do have a higher ceiling than, let's say, the Pistons. I believe they have a higher ceiling because they have LeBron James. They have Jaylen Brown. They have Tyrese Maxey. They got Embiid if healthy. They have a much higher ceiling. But as far as that goes, y'all, we've seen what these starting fives look like come playoff time. We've seen it. Jose in the TikTok said Detroit can't shoot. It's a good thing they've added 3 40+% shooters from 3. Good thing. I am not a guy that's going to just come in and tell you I got Philly winning it all. I'm not going to tell you that. They have 5 guys. 5. Do I think they're going to have a good regular season? Yeah. But they have 5 guys. And if I'm looking at the New York Knicks or the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm still going the New York Knicks, and I'm not thinking twice about it. The Knicks have a better bench. In my opinion, the Knicks are the only team in the East that don't have a better starting lineup on paper. But as far as continuity goes and depth goes, I'm more than happy with picking still the Knicks as my number one team. I think they're going to be fun, but that is also TikTok is saying they have a better bench. TikTok is saying Philadelphia has a better bench. Okay, let's go through this bench. Dean Wade, Anthony Simons, who's been on 3 teams in the last year. KCP, who hasn't played basketball in 2 years. LeBron Filan, who's never played NBA before. Dominic Barlow, who was a two-way guy last year. Ariel Huckporty, who didn't get any minutes for the Knicks. Dalen Terry, most of y'all never heard of him. Jabari Walker, most of y'all never heard of him. Justin Edwards, who's a good three-point shooter for 1 week last season. Adem Bona, who couldn't get playoff minutes. Johnny Broom, I've never heard of him. Duke Miles, I've never heard of him. They got Rupert and Caleb Love. Caleb Love, I know, is from Portland. Oh, apparently Terry got released. Dalen Terry got waived. Excellent. Ladies and gents, I think Philly's got a lot better. They're not my favorite to go. They're not my favorite to win it all. They're not. Somebody said the Knicks bench is way more trash. Oh, okay, let's see how it's way more trash. They have Landry Shamet, who shot at one point like 94% from 3 in the playoffs. They have Jose Alvarado, who led that bench unit in the finals. They got Deuce McBride, who's proven to be a good shooter off the bench and defender. They got Jordan Clarkson, who was their spark plug last year, which is what they're hoping Anthony Simons can have. They got Andre Drummond, who's a downgrade from Mitchell Robinson, but still very serviceable. Better than any of the Philadelphia backup bigs. They got Diarrhea, who's probably going to get minutes this year. I like that bench more. Calling the NBA champions bench trash it's an interesting take. It's an interesting take, y'all. It's a very interesting take. Swiss Cheese said, oh wait, and this is very interesting. By the way, guys, I'm not a Knicks or Philadelphia fan. He said Simons, KCB, and Edwards are nice bench players. Yes, Justin Edwards, who didn't get any playoff minutes. Yes, that's a good backup. Let's talk about Anthony Simons. He was on 3 different teams in the last year. Yeah, I'm sure that's a great backup. He'll be a spark plug. He'll have nights where he drops 25 points. He'll also have nights where he goes 0 for 7. I've seen it. Beantown boys have seen it. Bulls fans have seen it. He'll get you 20 points 1 out of every 3 weeks. And then he'll go 0 for 7 the other 5 games. And then who was the other guy? He said KCP. KCP didn't play last year. And LeBron, yeah, we have no idea. Even my 76ers fan in the Twitch stream is saying Edwards effing sucks. He's a Sixers fan. Anthony Simons is a roller coaster. I agree. Y'all gonna be sick when he's just an absolute cone on defense. He is. So guys, after everything I've said, I'm very happy for Philly fans. This is a much better situation than you were last summer. So I'm not going to be here and discredit y'all. Shout out to you guys, man. Daryl Morey could never. Sixers fans, it's been 43 years, man. It's been 43 years. I wish you the best. This is a fun team, man. And I'm going to be watching a lot of them. I don't believe they're much better than a lot of the good teams in the NBA. But what I will say, with Jaylen Brown, with LeBron James, your ceiling is much higher than it was last summer. So I'm very happy for you guys. I'm excited to see what other minimums you guys pick up. But in the meantime, defense is going to be an issue. People think Jaylen Brown is a great two-way player, but Jaylen Brown stopped playing defense after the All-Star break last year. Tyrese Maxey's a little bit of a pest, but he's really small. VJ Edgecombe's too small, but he is serviceable defensively. They're going to be leaning on Dean Wade a lot come playoff time as far as defense goes. So, Philly fans, are you guys my favorite next year? Too early to tell. Am I going to be watching almost all 82 games of you guys next year? Absolutely. Philly fans, stand up, man. This is the best odds you've had since 2001 with Allen Iverson. I'm very happy for y'all, man. We'll see what happens when when the lights turn on and the arenas open up. But I don't want any of the negative talk I said to influence the hype that Philly fans have. Be excited. You should be excited. You absolutely should be excited. I'm excited for you. As a team, I'm a fan of a team in the East as well, and I'm so excited to watch this. Video Mike, thank you for the follow on Twitch, bro. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to everybody that's leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. Be sure to join the Discord once you guys come through as well. Let's go ahead and talk about my next point. All right, we got another topic. The rest of them are going to be a little bit quicker. But next up, I want to talk about Spencer Jones. Yeah, Mike, be sure to join the Discord as well, bro. The link is right there. Thank you for following the Twitch. Spencer Jones will return to Denver and put them in the second apron. Now, what do I mean by that? The Oklahoma City Thunder decided to offer Spencer Jones a 2-year, $12 million offer sheet. And Denver said no. They knew Oklahoma needed a wing. And Denver, can I be honest with everybody? This one doesn't make much sense to me. When you are trying to bring back Peyton Watson, and Peyton Watson basically fills that starting role, Oklahoma knew that Denver wouldn't want to lose him. And it was a win-win decision by them offering him. They knew Denver would offer because they don't want to help the Oklahoma City Thunder out. So by them offering him and making Denver counter that offer so they don't help a rival out, that's basically the only reason Denver even brought him back to begin with. By matching Spencer Jones's contract, the Nuggets face a $32 million increase in current luxury taxes. It went from $36 million to $68 million. They entered the second apron. They are deep in tax bills, but could shed money via trades in season. They also got to figure out what to do with Peyton Watson now. That's their next move that they got to do. So the Denver Nuggets are the only team in the second apron around the entire NBA. This salary sheet has not updated yet, but the Denver Nuggets are now in the second apron, ladies and gentlemen. Jokic, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. He is going to be getting the largest contract in a North American sports history next summer. The biggest contract in North American sports history next summer. He's going to be getting a $400 million offer sheet next summer. I think it's closer to like $375 million. He is not going to take a pay cut. If he was going to take a pay cut, he would have signed last summer. If he was going to take another pay cut, he would have signed this summer. But because he didn't sign these offer sheets last summer or this summer, because he waited until 2027 summer, he is going to be making close to $400 million in his extension. Ben, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you very much. So Nikola Jokic will not be taking a pay cut. He will not. Which means Jamal Murray is going to have to be out soon. Aaron Gordon, as injury prone as he is, he's also going to have to be out soon. Cam Johnson would be a great contract for them to trade. I think we're all aware of that. He's got $23 million, and he's an expiring deal next season. That's a great player to trade, just so you can free up 23 M's. Christian Brown contract hurts. He's signed through 2030. He's going to be making $27 million in 2030. They got no money. They got no money. They're in the second apron, and now they got a lot to figure out, ladies and gentlemen. This was honestly a very calculated move by the Oklahoma City Thunder by offering Spencer Jones that. This is tough for Denver, man. This is very tough. They're in the second apron, and they got to get out of it. If they want to bring Peyton Watson back, they got to get out of it. All right, guys, up next, I want to talk about KCP briefly. He signed with Philadelphia for a 1-year deal immediately after he got waived by the Grizzlies. So shout out KCP. Listen, I've always been a big fan of KCP. The Pistons drafted him way back when, and I really believed in him. And I'm happy to know that he's a 2-time champion. He wants to play with LeBron again, so honestly, I don't blame him. He signed a $3.9 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a great contract. This is a great contract. Unfortunately for KCP, he didn't really play much last year, but all they need from him is just to be serviceable defensively and hit your wide open threes. That's it. KCP is a very streaky guy. Very streaky guy. He just needs to get in his rhythm and he'll start knocking him down. But I do like this pickup for Philly. They just got even better. He got hurt with Memphis, and I think they exaggerated. I think he got surgery as well. But you know what? It's a good pickup. KCP can help a lot of teams in the NBA. He enjoys playing with LeBron James. He's a two-time NBA champion. Um, this guy in the TikTok named Jagger just said, quote, "It's a great contract," end quote. He said, "Yeah, I'd say anyone on a minimum is a great contract, Mr. Basketball Genius." Damn, Chad, what I do to that guy? What did I do? What did I do to that guy in the TikTok? Yo, shout out to you guys that are leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch, man. That's Jay-Z Uncut. What I do to him, bro? But yeah, $3.9 million. I do think that's a great contract. KCP's been signing 1-year deals almost his entire career. And then, of course, the one time he doesn't sign a 1-year contract with the Orlando Magic, now he's on 3 different teams in 1 year. His 3rd team in 1 year. Shout out KCP, though. Now, my final guy that got picked up, I didn't get to talk about him a whole lot, but I do want to say I knew whatever team missed out on LeBron would end up getting him, one of them. And it was the Cleveland Cavaliers. They went out and they got Mario Hezonja, former number 5 overall pick with the New York Knicks back in 2015. He signed a 1-year, $2.8 million deal to sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is after he just came off his best season ever, I believe MVP season over in the Euro League. Mario Hezonja. Now, I watched some of his highlights over the last week, what he was doing in the Euro League. Guys, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't know if that's going to be working out, man. I don't think he's gotten much better. The competition really is. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. Do I think Mario Hezonja will be better than Dean Wade? Because that's who he's replacing. No, I don't. I think Dean Wade is a better NBA player than Mario Hezonja. I really do. I don't see this amounting to a whole lot, y'all. I hope he proves me wrong because it's a nice story. I love stories like this. But I mean, Dean Wade is a better NBA player than Mario Hezonja. Yeah, I think he averaged not even 20 points in one league MVP. Listen, y'all, Dean Wade is a great defender. He's 6'10". He's a brick wall. He's a brick wall. I don't think he's going to be able to create his own shot in the NBA. There's a reason he was out of the NBA to begin with after, what was it, 5 years? I don't think that this is going to amount to a whole lot. I know he's talented, but I don't know, man. He was drafted 11 years ago in the NBA. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I see that comment as well. As an Orlando Magic fan, Hezonja is buns. Listen, he's not. This is a downgrade. Cleveland took a downgrade. They were trying to get LeBron James. They let Dean Wade walk. They were trying to get LeBron. They didn't get him, and now they got Mario Hezonja, which I don't think is a good replacement for Dean Wade or technically LeBron James. I'm not going to hype this up. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, I didn't even make a lower third about this, but I saw this tweet this morning. And I was like, you know what? I got to talk about this. I got to talk about this. The Atlanta Hawks, they've done a lot of stuff this summer. The Philadelphia 76ers have had arguably the greatest offseason ever in NBA history. LeBron James, Jaylen Brown, Dean Wade, Anthony Simons, KCP, they've done a lot. Ariel Huckporty, they've done a lot, right? The Spurs, they got Tobias Harris, right? The Timberwolves, they got LaMelo. The Knicks, they got Andre Drummond. The Wizards got DeAndre and Chris Middleton. The Grizzlies got a whole lot of guys. The Lakers got a whole lot of guys. Even the Pistons, they got their new starting 4 in John Collins, potentially starting 2 or backup 2 in Isaiah Joe. Rookie Ibuka Okori, Torian Prince, Gary Harris, guys that can all shoot the 3. These are all guys. In fact, all the Pistons players right here shot above 40% from 3, except for our rookie that's coming in. The main thing I want to show y'all are 2 teams here. 2 teams. It's the New Orleans Pelicans and the Golden State Warriors. Guys, I can't zoom out on TikTok. If you want the full screen, come to the Twitch. I'm sorry, you can't see the left side of the screen. You got the full screen on Twitch. Guys, the Golden State Warriors have not made a move. They've not made a move. They have not made a move. Now, can somebody correct me if I'm wrong? But in the middle of the season, didn't only like 3 teams not make moves in the deadline? It was the Rockets, it was the Warriors, and was it the Heat? I believe it was just those 3 teams. Is there a fourth that I'm forgetting? I believe those 3 teams are the only teams in the entire association that did not make a move by the midseason deadline in February. And then once again, the Warriors still have not made a move. Something is really perplexing about this. Obviously Draymond Green rejected his player option. I don't know what's going on here. What's their plan? Yeah, Pat Spencer left them. That's not them making a move. He left them. I don't understand what's going to happen. The Warriors lost Bob Myers to the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't understand what's going on here. Why have they not made a move? See, like the Pelicans, I understand why they didn't make a move. Joe Dumars is brain dead. I understand. Troy Weaver is brain dead. They think they're a playoff team. So I understand why the Pelicans have only made one move. But as far as the Golden State Warriors go, it's like chat, am I crazy? Because a week ago, it felt like Golden State was the number 1 odds that LeBron was going to go to. Maybe 2 weeks ago. And then it just died. It literally just fell flat on its face out of nowhere. I'll be honest, 2 weeks ago, it felt like LeBron was going to Golden State. And then all of a sudden, you stopped hearing anything. And then he didn't go. He didn't say anything on it. They let Draymond Green reject his player option. So now what's Draymond going to do? I'll be honest with everybody. I think the only place that Draymond Green would go if it's not Golden State is Detroit. That's the only place I can see him realistically going. He's from Saginaw. He's a big fan of the Pistons. That was his team growing up. So if Draymond doesn't return, he'll be in Detroit. I'll guarantee you that. He will not be in another jersey. But if that's nothing to worry about, or Philadelphia, if he really wants to follow LeBron, if he takes a vet minimum, maybe Philadelphia. I think Draymond's going to re-sign in Golden State. 2 years. I think he's going to re-sign. But this is just perplexing, man. And you know what? There's another team I want to talk about here that is not getting, they have to catch a stray. I'm sorry. They have to. Hey, Orlando, bro. Hey, Orlando. Listen, man. You got Vucci, baby, after he just had potentially the worst season of his entire career. The most embarrassing playoff run I've ever seen by Vucci, man. Listen, man. This is going to be the last run between Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. We're all in agreement, right? This is going to be the final try at that duo. If they win a playoff series, they'll be back. But this is going to be the final run for the Orlando Magic. This is going to be it. This is going to be it. That's it. Now, Anthony just said a great comment. Can't wait to watch them play 20 games together. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. We'll see what happens. I don't think Franz's contract is going to be easy to move. It should be interesting. Paolo has lost a lot of weight, so maybe that'll help. But yeah, man, I think my listen, the Kings, you expect them to do nothing. The Cavs, they didn't have money to do anything, but they just got Mario Hezonja, so that's basically LeBron James. You got a new coach. My biggest disappointment is obviously the Warriors, but we all knew they wouldn't do anything. We all knew they wouldn't do anything. The Magic is very surprising, though. You got contracts to get rid of. I thought they were finally moving off of Jonathan Isaac, and then they just brought him back. You still have Jalen Suggs. You still have Franz Wagner. I don't know. You lost Mo Wagner. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. The Cavs still haven't re-signed James Harden. They definitely will now that they lost out on LeBron James. Curry ain't going nowhere, man. I can't see Curry playing somewhere else. I can't. You know what team could really use Kuminga? The Golden State Warriors. Okay, guys. On that note, that's going to do it. That's going to do it for today's show. We will be back Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern for our next podcast. So, guys, be sure to tune in. We got some fun stuff to talk about. I got a lot of series planned for the rest of the summer. So be sure to be here or be square. If you guys want more stream, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream like my boy Ben and Mike. Shout out to my goats for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I do appreciate all of y'all so very much. Before I do go, I'm going to prepare a nice document for Wednesday. I want to talk about the Portland Trailblazers. Long story short, Tom Dundon, the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes and the new owner of the Portland Trailblazers, has basically fired everybody from the franchise, including their broadcasters. The broadcasters. They're legendary broadcasters they've had for over a decade. It's depressing. I'm gonna make sure to make like a long section made to disrespect this guy. And what's scary about all of this, chat, is he's cutting so many costs that he just won with the Carolina Hurricanes. He just won. So if he manages, and this is really unfortunate for Portland fans because they just came off of their best year in 5 years. This should be a very exciting time for them. They just made the playoffs. This should be a very exciting time for them. And yet now they're getting rid of the guys that really make this team. Like, think about broadcasters. They genuinely are the closest thing that fans can get to the team that makes them feel a part of the team. My worry is that if Portland does improve and they do get better, you might start seeing other franchises look at them and realize, hey, why are we spending so much money on this? Tom Dundon's team is doing really well. The Blazers are doing really well. The Hurricanes just won with his cheap ass. Maybe we'll be cheap too. That's worrisome. We'll talk about it more Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are still live on Twitch. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTokers, if you guys have enjoyed, be sure to swing on into the Twitch. That's Jay-Z Uncut on the Twitch stream. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's all I got for y'all today. But we will be back Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. I got nothing left to say except for thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching/listening. And I'll catch you guys Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Love y'all and have a blessed rest of your day.